I bought every Oura Ring 4 color, so you don't have to. And people always say, you're always wearing a hat. So this time I didn't wear a hat. It's my hair. It's not very brushed, but it's what I look like. It's wavy in the back. Now, before I open all these boxes, if you do plan to buy them, I will have affiliate links down below for Amazon and the Oura Ring website. If you click that, it helps support the channel. I did buy all these rings on my own. Oura did not send me any of these, and they are not watching this video before I post it. But if you click those links, it helps support me so I can keep buying these rings. If you don't want to support it, just go search on Amazon or go to auraring.com. Now let's open the boxes. It's time to upgrade my ring. I actually used to own the brushed titanium Oura Ring, but I lost it when I was traveling in London last month. Very disappointing. So I went back to the stealth Oura Ring Gen 3. And now that the Oura Ring 4 came out, I'm excited to actually test these out and see which color I prefer. We'll go through all 6 colors. This is what they offer. The silver and the black are $349, so $350. Then they have brushed silver and stealth, which is slightly different than the silver and black, for $400 or $399. And then finally, the fanciest ones, which are $500 or $499, is the rose gold and the gold. So it goes up $50 and then it goes up another $100 for these rings right over here. I will compare them with the old Oura Ring colors as well and the Samsung ring, just so you can get a sense of what it looks and feels like. And if you're also planning on but you don't know which colors you want, I'm also going to have the natural titanium iPhone and the desert titanium iPhone next to the rings, so you can kind of get a sense for how different the colors might be in comparison to iPhones if you do own an iPhone. This is the silver. I love that they're kind of following the iPhone style packaging where you don't need scissors. You can just pull these tabs, get them out, you're good to go. The Oura Ring box is in here. I don't know if you can see that, but it says Oura. It's kind of like etched into the top of the box, which is really clean. The new silver ring with the new charging pad. I wonder if the old charging pads will also work on the new rings. This is more of a square shape, whereas the old ones were circular. It says Oura on the bottom, and the charging pads are only specific to your size, so these are all size 13. Hey, hello from Finland. Inside the box, we also get, now everything's gray, so they used to be black, but now this is such like iPhone. The packaging is similar to the iPhone charging cables and how they wrap them. And this is the charging cable. It's actually pretty nice, thick material. It's USB-C on both sides, and it's got the Oura logo on each end, which is really nice. It's only on the top part. But now you can plug this into your MacBook or any USB-C charger that you might have. Stuff you should know, let's be honest. No one reads these, but you do want to download the app, how the charging works at a glance. Natural titanium iPhone. This is the silver ring with it looks like it's also a natural titanium charger. Very similar color matching. This is the brushed silver Oura Ring next to the natural titanium iPhone. Stealth ring next to the natural titanium iPhone. The charging pad looks exactly the same color, but the ring's black. This is the gold. Oh wow, the gold really pops. Stunning. This is the rose gold Oura Ring 4. Let's put it next to the desert titanium because I feel like this is more of a reddish color. Whoa, it's definitely brighter than the desert titanium phone. There you go. These are all the colors from price. We have obviously the silver, the black, the brushed silver, the stealth, and then the gold and the rose gold. Let's see how they look on my fingers. These are size 13. So I'm gonna start from the cheapest again. So size 13 for me sometimes fits on my pointer, but more often than not, it fits on my ring finger and on this side, and then also my pointer finger on this side, but it never fits on my middle finger, which is not ideal. I wish I could wear it there, but that's why Oura Ring has introduced bigger sizes. They now go from size 4 to 15, so I might actually get a larger size, but I wanted to get the same size just to compare it to my previous Oura Rings. This is the Oura Ring Gen 3 Silver, and you can see how they are similar yet different. The Gen 3 on the right side seems to be a bit darker in terms of the shade and the tint, whereas the left side is the Oura Ring 4. It seems to have more of a silver tint. They both have that notch on the bottom, so you can make sure to wear the ring right there. The inside is where the drastic changes are. The Gen 3 has bumps, whereas the new one has nothing. It looks like a real ring. The sensors live right there, if you can kind of see that. Whereas this one, the sensors protrude off of the ring a little bit. It's just a few millimeters thinner. So the outside of the ring is a little smaller. Gen 3 is black on the inside too, whereas the new Gen 4 is silver on the inside. If you look at that, you can see how the sensors are the only part that's black and then everything else is silver. It's nice, but I don't think that's the ring I'm gonna go with. We'll show what they look like outside too, so you can kind of get a feel for that. And if I want to put it next to the Samsung ring, that's where, look at the Samsung ring is much thinner in terms of the width as well. Samsung really just a lot of Oura Ring. The notch is protruding rather than indented on Samsung. And then Samsung kind of copied the Gen 3 by having a black interior with protruding bumps. But you can see how much smaller the Samsung ring is in comparison to the Oura Ring 4. It's just thinner, and then the top part, the bezel, indents. If you can kind of see that, it indents, whereas the Oura Ring is maybe flat. Slight indentation on the Samsung Ring makes it feel smaller too. Look at that. The Samsung Ring is smaller, but you can only use it if you have an Android phone. Whereas the Oura Ring works with both iPhones and Android phones. Let's see if the old, no, you can't use new chargers with old Oura Rings. So you can only use your size and your version of Oura Ring. I think the Gen 2 and the Gen 3, the chargers would work with the rings, but now with the 4, does not work with the 3 or the 2 Oura Rings. That's good to know. There's just a massive design change, but they do have notches, which makes it easy. We'll leave the silvers here. The charging pads are much bigger on the new Oura Ring 4 versus the Oura Ring Gen 3. This is the brushed titanium versus the brushed silver. And now the LED light is on the top versus the old ones. The LED light was actually right here. The Gen 2, same style, but this would not be color. It was just on and off, white. And the Gen 3, it does green, red, I think, to denote how much battery, if it's fully charged or not. And these ones, I assume it's gonna be very similar. So now if we were to compare chargers, Oura, you should steal. Rincon and Samsung, I think, have the best charger. This box itself holds juice. It's like AirPods. I can put this inside the case and it charges the ring, so when I'm traveling, I know that this case, look at that. And then I can put the ring in and I can toss this in my backpack and it charges. Whereas these ones, you have to be careful because if it falls off, it won't charge. So you can't charge it while traveling. You really need to find a place to plug it in and sit down. So I just wish that Oura would copy that, even now. It's not too late. You can sell a secondary charger later on. Copy Samsung. I'm telling you, I'm begging you, Oura. Look, the charger height is a lot bigger. And you know, if you want to travel with this, look, even the pad on the Oura Ring seems to be just a tad bit bigger in terms of width, but the height on the Samsung charging case is bigger. Sell a travel charging case, Oura, please. That's all I ask. So the old cables were USB-A to USB-C, and the new cables are now silver, and they're all USB-C on both sides. They are exactly the same length. Looks like 3 feet maybe. Now let's look at black. Oura Ring 4 in all black. Whoa, so the black is gonna be shiny, whereas the stealth will not be shiny. You got the notch. The interior of all the Oura Ring 4s are going to be silver, no matter what color the exterior is. So even the black is silver on the inside. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that. I'd prefer to have the entire thing be all black. Because look, you can tell right here, there's a bit of silver around the edges, but then it's only the outside that's all black. So if I put this on, I guess you might not be able to tell. Yeah, there's a little bit of silver right there. So if you want it to be all black, this just isn't. Oh no, it just feels like they coated it, the outside with black, and they kind of missed this interior part. I'm not in love with it. I prefer the silver if I'm gonna pick one of these cheaper ones. Brushed silver. You can tell, it's brushed silver outside, but as soon as you come inside, it becomes that classic silver color. So if I put it next to the silver still has kind of that bezel too, a little bit, but it's less noticeable. Whereas the brushed silver, that's brushed silver, and then the interior is regular silver. I love the brushed titanium. So I did buy a brushed titanium, and I bought it off Amazon, one, because the shipping is faster on Amazon than it is from Oura themselves. But I wanted to see what the color was, and there was a massive Amazon discount on the old rings. So the brushed silver, if I put it on my finger, I like this because it just looks fancier than the regular silver. The regular silver is just too shiny. And as a man, I don't know if I like to have shiny rings on my fingers. So the brushed silver just feels a little bit cleaner. If we put it next to the iPhone in natural titanium, you can tell the brushed silver almost looks exactly like the natural titanium on an iPhone, which I like. If you want the jewelry to pop a little bit more, have some shine, Gen 3, brushed titanium, or Ring 4, brushed silver. They changed the naming a little bit. Do they look different? Can you tell the difference? They both have a notch on the bottom. There is a slight tint difference. This one seems to have a more goldish look, whereas this is more of a silver look. The notches on the bottom are different too. The Gen 3 has a wider notch. The new 4 has more of a thin notch. And then if you look inside, that's the massive change. This is probably my favorite ring. I'm gonna go with this one, I think, so far for my personal ring choice. Protruding bumps. Here it's all silver with little black boxes for the sensors. So you still get that little bit of an edge right here where there's two different silvers. I'm not in love with that, but I think it's subtle enough where I won't notice over time. All right, stealth. Oh, maybe I'll go with this color. I love stealth. I used to wear the stealth a lot. Then I fell in love with the brushed titanium. So this is my old one. It did scratch. That's the only issue with the black ones. When it scratches, it shows more than brushed titanium. So let's look at the new one. So they kept the naming on this one. This is stealth. The notches are a little bit smaller, but now you have the inside, this shiny silver on the inside, which pops a little bit more when you take the ring off. It doesn't feel as dark. Look at that. If I put it next to the old stealth, you can tell. Bigger notch, older ring. The old stealth has deeper blacks. This just feels lighter, a little lighter. The old stealth, I think, was stealthier. And then the other side is the inside. Once again, we have a silvery inside on the Stealth. So if you even angle it and look at it this way, it's silver, but it's black. It's silver on the inside, and then that outside trim just pops with bright silver, whereas the old ring was all black all around. It just feels more discreet, but it's also harder to find when you lose it. And this one, even if you look at it from a top-down angle, you see the shiny silver pop way more than the Stealth from the old model. I gotta say, I'm not the biggest fan of these new colors. I like the old colors before. The brushed titanium was better than brushed silver. The old Stealth is better than the new Stealth. I know more females prefer the gold. See, the same thing's happening here. You have the silver. If I look at it from the side, this looks like a silver ring. You would not be able to tell which one is silver and which one is gold. It's only when I rotate the rings that you see that this is gold and that is silver. So I'm not a big fan of that. I wish the sides were also gold. Now we have the gold on the top here. Yeah, it's nice. I don't have the old gold ring. Maybe if we get enough likes and comments, I'll buy all the old rings and all the new rings so we can compare them side by side if you really want to see that. This is nice. I think if you're a girl or someone who likes a gold ring, this is a very popular ring. I see a lot of people wear this one. Not my style, not my jam. Rose gold. Put this in the same gold bucket. I would wear rose gold. More females would probably prefer this color over males. This is, you know, it feels kind of like the gold but with a reddish tint. If I put it next to the Desert Titanium iPhone, it has more of a red. If we put it next to the gold, yeah, it's hard. It's a very subtle difference. The gold and the rose gold is just like a tint of redness to it. I prefer the rose gold. I would pick that over the gold. But I think the gold just matches more styles that if you wear other kinds of rings. But the issue is, once again, you roll them to the side, they both look silver to me. You have no idea what color these are. Now that we've tested these indoors, I'm gonna take these outside and show you what each ring looks like on my hand. When we're outside, you know, whether it's in the green with different kinds of sleeves near my watch. I'm going to prefer the brushed silver, but the Stealth is still kind of nice, and the gold and rose gold are cool too. I'm not a big fan of the silver and black. They're just a little too bright for my taste, but this is kind of how they look and feel when it's outside. Here's a beautiful montage. Now, after you've chosen the color, you also need to figure out what size you are. I highly recommend getting the sizing kits. It's free, and if you buy it on Amazon, they'll give you a $10 discount when you buy the ring again on Amazon. If you buy it through Oura, they give it to you for free. If you did ever have the Gen 3, note that the sizes might be slightly different. There's no protruding sensors. They feel different. They're slightly different. So just be mindful. I recommend get the sizing kit, this is what it looks like, and wear it for 24 hours so you feel comfortable with whatever ring size you get, because you're gonna be stuck with that. It's gonna be hard to change. You could return and exchange, but it's just another process. It doesn't fit on my middle fingers. I think preferably you want to wear it on your pointer or your middle finger with the new sizes, because this is the old sizing kit. They go 6 to 13. I know I met someone actually this past weekend. They're like, yeah, I can't get an Oura Ring because the sizes are too big. So now with the new kit, you actually get a wider array of 4 to 15. So they added 2 sizes to the top and 2 sizes to the bottom. They did change the ring sizing kit color as well. And I think the feel might be slightly different since I wear 13. Actually, this is 13 and 13. They both still fit in the same places. So if I put the old Oura Ring, you know, it gets stuck here. It gets there, but it's a little thick. And then on this side, it fits decently well. On this side, it's pretty smooth. If I take the new Oura Ring, size 13, gets a little stuck there. Super easy. I would say for me, they kind of feel the same. The new one might be a tad bit tighter. If I take the new size 13 kit, let's do this finger, pointer finger, left hand. That's the friction that I'm getting. Sorry that this is the visualization you have to have with the old sizing kit. The new sizing kit feels a little bit wider. Less friction on the new sizing kit. Okay, this is for demo purposes only, all right? You have a dirty mind. Or maybe I'm the only one with a dirty mind. So it fits. There's a little bit of a wobble, right? The more space you have between the ring and your finger, where it's not comfortably snug, the more likely that your heart rate sensors might be slightly off. 14 doesn't really fit. The thing is, if you wear it on your middle or your ring finger, then you can't close your fingers and you start to get a little bit of pinky pain. I've had that issue. So I'd prefer not to wear it as a wedding band because of that. If I do size 13, see how my pinky's just like stuck out? Not ideal, but maybe by the time I get married, technology has gotten better. I think 14, I can now wear it on my right hand pointer finger. Left hand pointer finger as well, but a little bit looser. So right hand pointer finger feels better. I think I'm gonna size up to 14 now. So ideally, I would wear this for 24 hours, test it out, but I highly recommend getting the sizing kit. Back to the color conclusion. Okay, after trying all these rings on and looking at the differences, I think I'm gonna go with brushed silver or stealth. What should I do? Let's look at these two. These are kind of my colors. So we're gonna put the old ones on the outside, new ones on the inside. Blind taste test. Okay, old rings outside, new rings inside. I love this stealth way more than that stealth. I love the old brushed titanium more than the new brushed silver. Over here, the brushed silver looks a little brighter. It's so subtle that it doesn't matter. It's a ring and it's super subtle. I'm gonna go with brushed silver, and I think the stealth. I think I'm gonna keep those two just so we can compare them. But the issue with the stealth is the scratches, whereas the brushed titanium, I guess this is a new brushed titanium. I lost my old one. They do scratch over time. You can see the stealth just develops these silver scratches. I assume that's gonna happen with the new stealth. Brushed silver, brushed titanium are going to be able to hold their color a little bit better. Here's the natural titanium iPhone next to all of these. All right, the verdict is I'm wearing brushed silver. That's the ring I'm gonna pick. If you do plan to buy any of these Oura rings, I will have the Amazon and the Oura Ring affiliate links down below. If you click that, it helps support the channel so I can keep buying these, because Oura did not provide me any of these rings. I bought all these myself. So if you want to keep making videos like this, keep spending excessive amounts of money trying all the wearables, those links help support it. If you don't want to support it, just go to the Oura Ring website or go search this on Amazon on your own, and we don't have to make any money. It's all up to you. I'm gonna make a new updated Oura Ring 4 beginner's guide. So if you want to watch that to really understand how to use your Oura Ring, the charging, everything from beginning to end, I will have that set up. So just subscribe, turn on notifications to see that. Follow me on all the socials at Shervin Shares on Strava, Instagram, X, TikTok, whatever it is. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.